Hello, everybody, and welcome to this exciting episode of the Joyful Money Podcast. I am so excited to welcome you. Welcome if you're watching on YouTube, and welcome if you're listening on the podcast, whether on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcast. The reason I'm so excited about today is because I've had a number of questions on my social media, people asking me how I've been able to create success in such a very short period of time. So if you're new to this podcast, I started my business officially in November of 2023. So I certified with the Life Coach School in August of 2023. I went full time into my coaching business, and I've been able to create a huge amount of success for myself. So I'm going to spill the beans today in this episode. The title of this episode is How I Made 45K in 48 hours using other people's audiences. So, first of all, I like to explain what I mean by other people's audiences. Now, when you're building a business, traditionally, people would attempt to build their own audiences. So, you would have a podcast like I have now, a YouTube channel, social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of the platforms. You would go on there to market your services, right? You would build know, like, and trust factor, right? So that people would understand and know you, first of all, before they buy your services. Now, that strategy is called B2C, which is business to consumer or business to client. The strategy I want to teach you today is a B2B strategy. That is business to business strategy. And that's exactly how I've been able to scale my business to 50K months consistently. Now, here's the thing. This strategy has been used by popular people like Tony Robbins, like Amy Porterfield. If you don't know Amy Porterfield, you can Google her. She's one of the top coaches in the world. And they know the power of affiliate marketing. They know the power of leveraging other people's audiences to expand your reach. I don't need to tell you how wealthy Tony Robbins is, but he's still very smart to leverage other people's audiences to market his events. So I am in a number of high-level masterminds, and I was so surprised when I got an email from this coach who I've paid tens of thousands of dollars to be in his mastermind. I got an email promoting Tony Robbins' event. Okay. Now, he wasn't doing it out of the goodness of his heart, right? Tony Robbins would pay him a commission to promote his event. So, how does this B2B partnership work? You would find coaches in niche adjacent niches. What do I mean, niche as adjacent niches? Now, tons of time, people always think competition, right? Now, I don't want you to think competition. Many coaches always think they're in competition with other coaches, but I want you to think collaboration. Collaboration is where you find coaches who serve similar audiences like you do. And then you would partner with those coaches to get your offer in front of their audiences. Now, here's the thing. That coach or those coaches have already done the groundwork to build an audience. And typically they have 5,000 to 20,000 people on their email list and also social media followers. And so when you partner with those people and get your offer in front of your ideal clients, you get to scale very fast. And that's exactly what I did because I knew that it would take time to build my audience. So then why not leverage other people's audiences and get my offer in front of my ideal clients? So that is exactly how I made 45K in just 48 hours. Now, you can scale this method because I have designed a system and AI automation systems that helps you to partner with hundreds of coaches at the same time. So instead of going slowly and finding one partner at the same time, using my system, you get access and you get to connect with tons and tons of coaches who serve similar audiences to you. Now, I like to give examples, right? So you can drive home the point. So say you're a confidence coach You just certified, or maybe you've been in business for 5 years or 2 years, whatever, but you're struggling to get consistent clients, right? Now, what you could do is to partner with another coach who serves similar audiences as you. So if I'm a confidence coach, I would partner with a coach who does career coaching, for example, or who does relationship coaching. Okay, so if you as a confidence coach want to expand your reach, you would partner with people in niche adjacent coaching niches. Okay, so confidence coach would partner with a career coach or a relationship coach. Why? Well, because if someone is looking to change their careers, most likely they'll need to um, either expand their confidence by learning how to deliver a presentation or interview skills, right? So you would need confidence in that kind of setting. Similar to relationship coaching, many people have a fear of dating, right? So as a confidence coach, you could partner with someone who does relationship coaching, and you will get clients from that pool of audience. Amazing. But here's the thing. In order to leverage other people's audiences, you have to have an offer that is irresistible, both to the clients and to the partner, which is the coach, okay? Because nobody's going to do this for you for free. And I tell my clients to go with a 10% reward, right? I'm sure you've heard of referral reward systems. And for coaching and for this system I have built, you would reward the coach who referred people to you and you get a paid client, you would reward them with a 10% reward. So, for example, if your coaching offer is 10K, you would pay $1,000 for every referral that becomes a client. And that's why I like this system so much. You only pay when you get a paid client, right? Which is amazing. So people refer people to you, they come into your system, you nurture them, give them your offer, and you only pay a reward when you get a client from that audience, right? Which is amazing. And like I said, Amy Porterfield and Tony Robbins, I know for sure because I actually did a search because I wanted to tell you how powerful this system is. It's almost like getting a band of affiliates working for you, okay? So if you're struggling to get clients, if you're not fully booked, if you're not at least 50K per month, every single month in your business, you have to try this system. It works. It works. So there's no need for you to keep struggling to get clients, trying to build the like, know, and trust factor by yourself. It takes time to build the like, know, and trust factor, but you can leverage other people's audiences, get in front of those audiences, and then scale your business faster. Now, here's the thing. Maybe you might think, oh, I don't want to share my revenue with anybody. I want to keep 100% of my revenue. But here's the thing. 90% of something is better than 100% of nothing. So you're struggling to get clients right now and you're still adamant you want to keep 100% of your revenue. Well, 100% of zero equals to zero. I would rather that I have clients and then pay only a 10% commission and keep all the 90% to myself and I have clients. I prefer that system more. Okay. So if limiting beliefs are coming up for you and you're thinking, oh, I don't want to share revenue with anyone, then think about that. Is it worth you continue to go without clients, or having a 10% reward system and you have lots of clients coming to you? Just do the math. And like I always say, you have to think of your business as a CEO. As the CEO of your business, you have to always think return on investment, ROI, right? So if you pay 1K and you get nine, and if you pay 1K and you get 9K back, that is a huge return on investment. And that is how you scale faster. Instead of just waiting, posting on social media and hoping that clients find you magically, You proactively form partnerships with coaches who already have those audiences on their email list as social media followers, and you get your offer in front of those people. So that's like a nutshell of how the system works. Now, like I said, instead of having to connect with coaches one at a time, it's very slow. I have created a very robust AI system that would make the process a lot faster and connect you with tons and tons of coaches at the same time. That is why this system works. And one of the case studies I have, and I'm so proud of what she has achieved. I don't take credit for any of my client results. Her name is Megan, and she made $210,000 in 6 months inside my mastermind. And she did that because she leveraged the AI automation system to connect with tons of coaches. And she was able to partner with coaches, collaborate with coaches to get our offer in front of our ideal clients. Now, like I said, always think collaboration. Okay. Having the feeling of like you're competing with other coaches, that's not good energy to have, right? So I have even partnered with some business coaches, right? Coaches who, for example, teach how to leverage Instagram, teach how to build a business on Instagram. I have partnered with those coaches. And you might think, oh, business coaches should be competitors, but well, we serve the same audience, but our business product is completely different. So why wouldn't we partner together? Okay. So I want you to always think collaboration. Don't think competition. And I always say this, there is so much abundance to go around. Okay. So stop having scarcity mindsets because scarcity mindset keeps you stuck. Scarcity mindset keeps you where you are. If you want to get to multiple six figures, seven figures, eight figures, and 10 figures like I want to get to, okay, if you're ambitious, you have to think partnership. Okay, that's the fastest way to scale. So I have a surprise for you. The surprise is I am going to introduce you to two coaches who are going to do a deep dive and discuss this system in detail. Now, I have to give credit where credit is due. My husband, so we are divorced now, but we are still best friends. I've talked about him on this podcast a number of times. We see once a week, and we do like a business brainstorm. And so last week he came, and I told him about this new AI system I had built, and he said, "Oh, if you're gonna teach this on your podcast, why don't you do a deep dive?" And I said, "Deep dive? What do you mean?" And so he introduced me to this tool, which I'm going to share now. So there are two coaches who are going to do a deep dive into this system. And the reason I like this is because there's going to be a conversation. And so you're going to learn from two different perspectives. And many times when there is a conversation, I feel like you get the gist better. And so going forward, wherever it's applicable in this podcast, I'm going to bring these two experts to dive into the systems because ultimately I want you to take action. Because just watching this podcast and watching the YouTube channel and not taking action, it's not going to get you any results. The people who will get results are the people who take action. And ultimately, I want you to take action. So I want to introduce you to coaches David and Ruby. Welcome to the episode, David and Ruby. Take it away from here.
Okay, so let's dive right into this idea of scaling a coaching business.
Yeah.
We see so many coaches who are super passionate about what they do, but actually getting clients, paying clients,
Right.
feels like an uphill battle.
Yeah.
It's like they're pouring so much energy into social media and, maybe even giving away free sessions.
Right.
And they're still not seeing that consistent growth that they're looking for.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the stuff you shared with me, especially Joy Rowland's work, it really highlights why that is.
Yeah.
It's like you're constantly having to create content, hoping to stand out in a sea of other coaches, all vying for the same attention.
It's so true.
And it can be exhausting.
And Joy talks about this, right?
Yeah.
She hit that wall herself, even with a podcast, even with a YouTube channel, all of that.
Yeah.
So what's the alternative?
Right.
Well, that's where this idea of B2B partnerships comes in. And, for those who aren't familiar, that's business to business.
Yeah.
Instead of just focusing on that business to consumer, B2C route,
Right.
let's talk about why this B2B strategy is so different.
Well, imagine this. Instead of starting from scratch, building an audience from zero,
Yeah.
you're tapping into a network of other business owners
Right.
who already have the trust of your ideal clients.
Okay.
So they already have that relationship with the people you want to work with.
That's huge.
And they understand the value of what you offer.
They get it.
Yeah. It's like if a friend who you really trust recommends a restaurant, you're much more likely to try it out.
Oh, totally. If someone whose opinion I value tells me to check something out,
Right, exactly.
I'm way more likely to do it than if I just saw an ad or something.
Yeah, you're not starting from scratch with them. You already have that trust built in.
Okay, so instead of just like throwing stuff out into the void and hoping it sticks,
Exactly.
we're partnering with someone who already has that relationship, that connection. And the material, and it actually gave a really good example about a life coach partnering with a business coach.
Yeah.
So instead of just trying to reach everyone who might be interested in personal development, they're tapping into this group of people who are already focused on their careers, their businesses.
Exactly. Makes sense, right?
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But how do you actually find these partners? How do you know who to reach out to?
That's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The source material actually talks about using AI and automation for this to find what they call niche adjacent partners.
Niche adjacent.
So
Yeah.
when, let's stick with that life coach example.
Yeah.
They could use these AI tools to find business coaches on LinkedIn, for example.
Okay.
People who have the same kind of ideal client that they do.
Got it.
It's all about finding that natural overlap where your services sort of complement each other.
So not directly competing, but sort of
Right.
like the next logical step or...
Yeah, like you said, niche adjacent.
Right.
They're right next to each other, but not the exact same thing.
Okay, that makes sense. But you can't just be any business coach, right? I mean, there's got to be something in it for both people.
You're absolutely right. It's a two-way street. It
Yeah.
has to be a win-win, a true partnership.
Right, like dating, but for your business.
Exactly. And Joy Rowland, her strategy really stresses this idea of a strong compensation plan.
Okay, so you're actually putting your money where your mouth is?
Yeah, you're showing them the value.
Yeah.
She talks about, a minimum of $1,000 per client referral or 10% of your coaching program fee, whichever is higher.
Okay, so that way the partner is incentivized
Exactly.
because they're getting something out of it too.
Right. It's a win-win.
And you're sharing that success.
Yeah, you're both invested in making it work.
Okay, I like it.
Because think about it, you're getting high-quality leads from someone your ideal client already trusts.
Right, it's not just like some random person who found you on the internet.
Exactly.
This is someone who's already vouching for you.
And wouldn't you rather invest in a system like that than spend all your time on social media hoping to get noticed?
Oh, 100%. That just sounds exhausting.
It can be.
And like you said, this AI thing, it can actually automate some of this process.
Yeah, it can make things so much more efficient.
Wow. It's like having a personal assistant.
Kind of, yeah.
But for finding business partners.
Right.
Okay, so we've got this idea of niche adjacent B2B partnerships.
Mm-hmm.
We can use AI to make it easier.
Yep.
But what are the actual steps? How do we put this into action?
Well, Joy Rowland lays out a really clear 4-step system.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's connect, offer, leverage, and sign and pay.
Okay, so it's like a roadmap to partnership success.
Exactly.
Connect, offer, leverage, sign, and pay.
Here you go.
It sounds pretty straightforward,
Yeah.
but I'm guessing it's a little more nuanced than that. Right?
Well, absolutely. It's not
Yeah.
just like sending a message saying, hey, I want to be partners.
Right. Got to put a little more thought into it than that.
Yeah, each step in Joy's system, it has these little things that make it really work.
Okay, so let's start with connect. then.
Okay, so connect.
What does that actually look like in practice?
So it's more than just connecting with someone on LinkedIn and calling it a day.
Right. Got to actually interact.
Yeah, engage with their content, show that you're interested in what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even share some of your own expertise, but in a way that's relevant to their audience,
So you're kind of planting those seeds, showing them that you're someone worth knowing
Exactly.
before you even bring up the partnership.
Yeah, you're building that foundation.
Okay, and then what's next? Offer, right?
Yes. So once you've made that connection, then comes the offer stage.
Okay.
And remember we talked about that what's in it for me
Yeah.
factor.
Got to make sure it's a two-way street.
Exactly. So this is where you come in with a really clear, compelling proposal.
Okay.
Lay out all the benefits for both sides.
Like what? Give me some examples.
So things like cross-promotion, you promote them to your audience, they promote you to theirs,
Got it.
access to new people, and of course that attractive compensation plan we were talking about.
Right. Got to sweeten the deal a little bit.
Exactly. You got to woo them, show them you're serious.
Okay. I like it. So you're connecting,
Yeah.
you're making the offer. Then what?
Then comes the exciting part, leverage.
Okay. Bring on the leverage.
This is where your partner really kicks into gear, starts promoting your stuff to their audience.
Okay.
It could be through email, social media, whatever channels they usually use.
And we're talking about like a specific offer here.
Yeah.
Like not just generally promoting your business.
Yeah, it's usually something specific, like a free masterclass or a webinar, something to get people in the door.
Okay. So it's like a warm referral, but even better.
Exactly, because their audience already trusts them.
Right. It's not just some random ad they're seeing. It's like, hey, I know this person. They're great. Check them out.
Exactly.
That's huge.
It is. And then finally, sign and pay. The fun part.
Right. This is where you close those deals, bring on those new clients, and of course, reward your partner for sending them your way.
So it's a win-win for everyone involved.
Exactly. Creates this cycle of mutual benefit that can really fuel your growth.
Okay, I love it in theory, but does this actually work in the real world?
Oh, it's more than just theory, Joy's material. It's full of success stories.
Okay, like what?
So there's Megan. She's a client of Joy's, and in just 6 months, she went from really struggling to find clients to having a 9% conversion rate on her leads.
9%, that's huge.
It is. And 62% of those leads, they actually showed up for calls.
Wow, those are amazing numbers.
Yeah. And she ended up bringing in over $210,000 in just 6 months.
Okay, I'm sold.
And get this, she had never even used AI automation before.
So you don't have to be like a tech genius to make this work.
No, not at all. It's about the strategy, not the tech.
Right, and Joy provides the roadmap, right?
Exactly. She walks you through it step by step. Okay, that makes me feel better because I was going to say, I'm not the most tech-savvy person.
Don't worry, you don't have to be.
But this does make me wonder, like, will this work for any type of coaching business?
That's a good question, and it's important to be realistic. This system, it's really designed for coaches who have high-ticket programs.
Okay, so we're talking like premium, high-end coaching.
Exactly, because the economics have to make sense. You need to be able to offer those attractive commissions to your partners.
Right, that makes sense. You got to make it worth their while.
Exactly, and for the coach, it means they're bringing on clients who are serious about investing in themselves.
Okay, so it's a win-win on both sides. But that brings up another question I had, which is time.
Time commitment. Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Because this all sounds great, but like, I'm already busy.
Of course. And that's the thing. If you're not fully booked with clients, then you actually have time to invest in activities that will bring in more clients.
Okay, so it's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. And this system, it's all about leverage. You're leveraging partnerships, you're leveraging automation.
Right, so you can free up your time and focus on what you do best, which is coaching.
Exactly.
This has been so insightful. I feel like I've learned so much about B2B partnerships and how to actually use them to grow a coaching business.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. It's a really powerful strategy when it's done right.
It really is. And I think it's something that a lot of coaches probably haven't even considered.
Yeah, it's not the traditional route, but it can be incredibly effective.
So for everyone listening, I think a good takeaway here is, even if you're not sure where to start, even if this all sounds a little bit intimidating, just start by thinking about, like, who are those niche adjacent partners that you could reach out to?
Yeah, who's already serving your ideal client in a different way?
Exactly. And just start that conversation. You never know what could come of it.
Exactly. And there are tools and resources out there to help you, like Joy's work.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to be a tech whiz. You don't have to have it all figured out right now.
Just take that first step.
Exactly. And as we wrap up today's deep dive, I want to leave you with this. What if you could consistently bring in just one high-ticket client per month through these B2B partnerships? How would that impact your business? How would that change things for you? Something to think about.
It's a game changer for sure.
It really is. Well, on that note, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah, this is great.
I always learn so much from these conversations.
Me too. It's always fun to geek out about this stuff.
It is. All right. Until next time.
Thank you so much, David and Ruby. That was a very insightful conversation. I am so excited to have you on this podcast. And so If you're listening, you want to take this to the next level and you have a desire to scale your business and you're not currently fully booked and you have space for new clients, I want you to download the free referrals on steroids system. I'm going to give it to you for free. It's going to be in the show notes if you're listening on the podcast, and it's going to be in the description. So just grab that link. It's just a 20 minutes video walking you through exactly how the system works. I'm so excited for you to try this out, and I cannot wait to hear all of the new clients you get using this system. Thank you so much. As always, if this episode has blessed you in any way, please consider leaving us a review, commenting on YouTube. I try my best to respond to all of the comments. I'll see you back here on the next episode. Until then, I'm wishing you lots of love, lots of joy, and lots of light. Stay safe and always be happy. Hey, very quickly before you go, if this podcast inspired or encouraged you in any way, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and share this with a friend. It means a lot to us, and we appreciate your kindness and generosity in doing this. We'll see you back here on the next episode. Bye-bye.